doing what you just prepped for the last 3 years. So it was so cool because, you know, I never like to think of it as I wasn't getting paid to do it, because you're getting all these hours, you're getting this experience. I had a great relationship with my supervisor. She was actually retiring after this year. So you learn so much, and you have your own students. And I think they made me this huge card with a bunch of pictures. It was so cute. I loved going there every day. And it truly showed me that I made the right decision. Like, I could sit there every day. I'd like get up in my car and like drive into the parking lot. I have my little lunchbox. It's a fun experience to finally be able to know that everything you did from this point on, like, don't get me wrong, the science classes, all that. I'm not a science brain, but you actually apply everything you've learned in the classroom. And like they were talking about with the skills courses, I use the information I got from the skill courses to make my lesson plans and to make everything. And you'd think as a freshman instructional strategies, you're like, oh, I'm not going to use this in 4 years. I looked back at my notes and that's what I used. And I, you know, being prepared, when I think of words to describe Springfield, you know, the program, it's preparedness and reputation. You know, when people hear you're from Springfield College for phys ed or health ed, they're like, oh, like, you must know what you're doing then. And, you know, you build relationships. I've made, you know, unforgettable memories. And what I like though, the most that stood out to me at Springfield is you are in the classroom from day one, and not many other schools offer that. And I think just the ed prep program and the physical education and health education department, they will do everything they can possibly do to make sure you're confident. And as a senior, you know, I'm 22 years old, but if I had my own classroom tomorrow, I'd be more than confident to run it based on everything from freshman year. So that's my little take on it. You know, obviously I am happy with my decision. I'm actually staying at Springfield another 2 years to do my master's, so I can't leave yet. But it was an unforgettable experience. And what I like too is they place you at schools that were all different. So it's based on what you want to choose as well. So for some weird reason, I love middle school PE. I love middle schoolers. I know it's very unpopular opinion, but I was at a middle school for physical education. I was at a high school for health, and then I was at a middle school in the spring for health. So they let you choose. It's based on the experience you want to get, which is really cool. And you become certified in K through 12. So in the end, it's like the best of both worlds. But I'm very happy with it. I, you know, would never have made a different decision. So
awesome. And thank you to the four of you for sharing your personalized experiences. We've spent quite a bit of time talking about our major, and, you know, obviously I think they did a nice job selling. Just a couple of things that weren't discussed. So getting back to the skills courses, can you folks tell them who teaches those classes and how that's kind of a benefit from who you're learning from?
I'll go first.
Go ahead, Gianna.
Well, I will say one thing about the skills courses, swimming. I was in the best shape of my life from swimming. I swam every Tuesday, Thursday at 8 a.m. And might I say, I was in the best shape. But what's nice is you do essentially take skills courses up until your senior year, and they're all taught by faculty and staff. So I think as a senior, I've had every coach that we've had as a professor for PEPCs or skills courses. So that was pretty cool. We've had, and honestly, most of your professors are from the PEHE department in that aspect, but I've had the football coach, the gymnastics coach, and what's cool is with gymnastics, the gymnastics coach teaches it. So it's like, I can't even do a cartwheel, but I had a great time because I was able to meet her. So, but they're all basically taught by either PEHE or teams. So I had Coach Milady, my lacrosse coach, as a professor, which was, I got a 99 in the classes I had to, and I was scared. But yeah, it's really cool. You get to meet so many new coaches and hear their perspective, and it was fun.
Yeah, so we have a unique model at Springfield College where all of our varsity coaches also work in the physical education department. And if there are more than one section of a certain course being taught, they're graduate assistants who are essentially the assistant varsity coaches are teaching the classes. So you're learning from experts essentially in all of the skills courses. Um, Other things to our SC majors, could you just talk about in general for like gen ed or other outside courses outside of our department, your interactions with faculty, class sizes, and hopefully emphasize the positive interactions that you've had with other faculty outside of our department?
I can go. Most of the classes, like your gen eds and everything, like they're not gonna be huge. Like obviously anatomy is like a big one. Like a lot of majors have to take anatomy. So like that was my biggest class. First semester I had like 60 something kids because I had it at 11. But as soon as I switched second semester to the 8 a.m., I only had 20 kids. So it's kind of like if you there's certain classes like granted, yes, I have to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning and have to be in Laughlin, which I lived in Massasoit, so like it wasn't that far of a walk, but like at 8 o'clock in the morning it's kind of rough. But getting there, like I had Dr. Fowler because I'm part of the LLC. So like Haley and Aaron can both be part of it. So you live in Massasoit Hall and you live on the same floor as a bunch of people like around your major. So like I had health science, exercise science, PE, some bio kids, but you're all around the same major. They put you all in the same anatomy class, which for me was the 11 o'clock one. Um, but obviously, scheduling wise, like you can change out of it to a different one. But you, like, I had Dr. Fowler, so I had extra study hours with her. So she came to the basement of Massasoit Hall because there's a classroom down there, and you had, I think it was Tuesdays from 4 to 5 or 4 to 5:30. She would come down from her office and she would just sit there. You could go in, you could ask her any questions about anything. It could be from lecture or lab. Obviously for lab, she would just try her best. When we were working on like the skeletal system and like labeling different parts of the bones, we had a whole skeleton down there just for us, which was really nice. But you become really close with all of your teachers like that are like not just in the PE, HE major, but like outside. Like they're always there. Like if you ever have any questions, like you can just go to them, go to their office hours. Like they'll gladly answer any of your questions. Let's see.
Can some of you also begin to start talking about just like general campus life, maybe the residence halls, dining halls, athletics, campus rec, wellness center?
I can. So, um, res halls, I lived in Reed my freshman year. I don't know. It, I liked it a lot. It was a good hall. And I lived in International Hall, which is where a lot of the sophomores live. And then the dining hall, so it has a lot of food. Like, there's always something for you to eat. Like, it's not the hugest place, like some huge camp like UMass. Like, it's obviously not going to be that, but it has always something there for you to eat. And I joined rugby. It's a club sport here because I was thinking about doing like softball or something, but I ended up just doing a club sport because it was less time and I love it. So, like, if you ended up wanting to do a club sport, it's great. It's like 3 days a week, so it's still you're part of a team. And then I do intramurals as well. Like, intramurals are huge at Springfield. Like, my soccer team in the winter, we won the whole thing, got t-shirts. Like, it felt like a championship because it was like it was so cool and fun. And so there's a like, and the gym's really nice there. I go all the time. So there's like a lot of things you can do even if you aren't on a varsity team. So
Bailey?
Yeah, so just like to piggyback off of like the wellness center, I work at the rock wall in the wellness center, which I think is really cool that like our school has a rock wall to begin with, because I don't know, I've never heard of that before at another school near me. And what's really cool about the wellness center is that they constantly have classes that you can go to. Like they have a spin class that I've attended like so many times. They have like a glow spin class like every once in a while where there's like black lights and you just like dress in like neon and it's like super fun. And they have like a hip hop cardio class where like you just dance. And they have like yoga too. So I think it's really cool that they offer so many different types of classes that you can attend. So you're not pressured to like just go to the gym and like lift weights.
Gianna, you want to talk from like an athletics standpoint?
Yeah, so I play lacrosse. I played lacrosse, I guess you could say now. Unfortunately. So there's fall ball, and like someone said, also the intramural thing. I know a lot of people that love intramurals, and I wish I could play them because they actually seem like a lot of fun. But from a varsity athletic standpoint, so there's fall ball, so you only play essentially for 4 weeks in the fall, which is like perfect because then you have a fall play day and then you get the remainder. So basically the second week in October or something, you get the remainder of the time until winter break to really just focus on your schoolwork. And that was a big thing for me for Division III, is still having time for schoolwork, obviously. And then you just have a lot more time in general. But in the spring, then since lacrosse is a spring sport, you would play throughout. So you come back a little earlier. So we would usually do Martin Luther King weekend, and then we would essentially play until the end of May. So obviously, one thing that I've learned from playing a sport or being involved in intramurals, anything like that, that I've heard of, is time management. So we're a small campus, and I do know people that didn't play a sport or were involved in athletics or anything, but I just noticed you have a lot of time on your hands, which is why the wellness center is so great. They just put in all of this new equipment. But I just think in general, time management really did help me. And playing a sport, I never had a conflict with any classes, which was really great. Like we talked about earlier, your coaches essentially are your professors for some parts, so they definitely understand. And I've never had a conflict with a professor that didn't understand if we had a game or something like that. And it was very easy to make my schedule. And that's what I love the most, that I always remember from Springfield, that I'll always take out of it, knowing that other people who went to big schools, you're not just a number. Like, they know you, your advisor knows you, they know who you are, your personality, what you're comfortable taking class wise. And that's why I was so happy with Springfield in general, because you never felt that pressure. If you went to a professor, they're like, okay, I could easily look up how you're doing in this class, what extra help you need. And that's what I think was like the big thing out of it, that playing a sport, it was never a conflict. It was always like a bonus or a plus. So it was definitely a really positive experience.
I think Gianna's statement kind of speaks to, I know for me and probably Dr. Moosberger as well, part of the reason why we wanted to come back and work at Springfield College was because of how the campus and the interactions and the relationships that we built, not only with our faculty members or our professors at the time, but now our current faculty members and the students. It's it's very personalized, definitely. So I'm going to move to the second prompt, and you know what? We really don't need to type it in, but because there's only 2 of you. So my question is, Haley and Erin, how are you 2 currently staying engaged in physical education and/or health education?
I like to go on walks with my dog or my family, but we're usually quarantined with my aunt, which is also an alum of Springfield. So she has 3 little boys, and they are crazy energetic. So
we're always doing something outside, like a trampoline or like a race or something. And I
And
also
Haley?
got this
Oh,
game, and it's like a mixture of spike ball and tennis or like ping pong. So I've been playing that a lot.
cool.
I know for myself, so I was actually taking a gym class when like my school year got moved to online, so I have to do stuff for that. And I was also, my school has apprenticeship, so I had an apprenticeship with one of the gym teachers at my school. So I was helping him out with one of his classes. So I really just like am now just having a gym class and going for runs and working out and going on family walks with my dogs too. So
Are either of you getting like prescribed stuff to follow for your school credit? I know from Haley for being in the class currently. Are you going to be graded on it, or?
So what my physical education teacher did was just do some sort of activity. I don't care what it is. His son plays lacrosse, and a bunch of the kids in my gym class were lacrosse players, and he was like, go play wall ball for 20 minutes and then go do a workout, because it has to be 60 minutes every other day. So he basically was just like, go out, do something, make a log, and then we have to share the log with him.
Mm-hmm.
So
How about you, Aaron? Do you have anything, or are you not in a phys ed class currently?
My gym class right now is kind of an internship slash mentor thing, because me and a bunch of other people were picked to be mentors for special ed students in a gym class. So some of them don't really use emails and stuff, so we just send them like an email or two every week, like checking in on them and asking how they're doing. And then we have a Zoom every Friday to like see everyone's faces and stuff.
Awesome. So as you've heard from our 4 students, once we went online, the majority of our field experiences were taken away. So I'm going to ask the 4 SC students to kind of give you their perspective of what they've been asked to do now as students preparing physical education type assignments. Leighton, we'll start with you. Leighton just did a superb lesson. She just created an awesome one for her class, and I'll let her share a little bit about that.
So yeah, moving online for instructional strategies was kind of a big change because we were only in the school for 4 weeks. So I had just gotten to know my kid. Like I was so excited. Like I already had a bunch of plans like thought of in my head of like different activities and stuff. But like as soon as we went online, like it's kind of like you have to just change your mindset like real fast. Granted, we had like 2 weeks to do that because we had spring break and then we had another week off. But it's definitely different. The first week we kind of just did like a regular lesson plan like we had when we were going to Trinity. Then the second week we did kind of like a handout thing. So you like made a Word document and you kind of like made it all colorful and did like step by step like what each activity was. I can share my screen if I can find it. I can pull it up. Let's see.
Emily, can you talk about what you've been doing as a sophomore? And Leighton, when you get that, just
Yeah.
you can chat me.
Yeah, so I was just finishing my middle school module. So I had been teaching middle schoolers. I've done it 3 times so far. I was doing a basketball unit, and I was kind of sad because our last day was supposed to be right after spring break, and I was going to get to do a tournament with them, which we'd be like working up for. But so now we were on to the high school unit. And so instead of getting to teach, because it's not like I was student teaching them or anything, I've been having to make videos of myself, like with different like workout routines or like aerobics stuff. So I had to make a step aerobics like routine. I don't really know much about, so that was interesting. And then just like a body weight one with like squats and lunges and stuff. So that's been kind of cool, but like obviously I wish I'd gotten to teach high school, but at least I still get to do some stuff. So yeah.
Bailey, you want to go?
Yeah, so with adapted, obviously like can't teach the kids, but we're still creating lesson plans and we just like pretty much talk about them. Like that's my only like Zoom class. So we just go in there, talk about different types of disabilities. We go into like little breakout rooms on Zoom, like do some like group work and then like talk about it as a class. So it's not really anything different from what we would be doing if we were at school, but it's definitely harder to like get all your stuff done and like actually know if what you're making in your lesson plan is working. So that's the only like downfall.
And Gianna, why don't you tell the girls what you've created as you are becoming an online sensation?
Yes. Well, so I actually made a website. So I actually record myself in my room teaching, and I use my TV, like I hook it up with the HDMI cord, and I teach like enrichment based lessons. So it was a gratitude lesson and all of that. And
You're not doing it behind with that fine china though, are you?
no, we go upstairs for my studio. This is my home office. And so we were all trying to think of ways, when you're a student teacher, your senior year, you're in a seminar. So obviously we had to move ours online. It was twice a month, but now we're meeting every week. So you basically are in a Zoom meeting with every single person in your major. So it's nice to see everyone. And you get to notice as a senior, you're a lot more, you're busier. So you don't get to see people in your major as much. So it is nice. So we were all brainstorming ideas. So I came up with a website. I'll put the URL in the chat afterwards, but it's just basically physical education, health education, different resources for people to use. You could watch me teach, and I post that for my students now that I have. But yeah, so the other thing that we came up with as a group, everyone in our major, we were like, okay, what can we think of that we could all come together and do? Because a lot of us were just upset that we didn't even get to say goodbye to our student teaching, like our students, because as a student teacher, your senior year, you're there every day. And I was part-time now, so I only saw them 3 days a week, but you build this relationship with them. And it was sad. So we were all like kind of upset about it. And we were all like, all right, what could we do that, we could send it out to everyone, get the word out. So we made an exercise video. And it was 10 seconds of just different exercises that you could do around your house. So people use brooms, milk jugs to do tricep dips. So it was cool. We all came together and did something, because I think this is something that no one expected before, but like someone said earlier, from freshman year on, the support I've had from the people, and it's a team effort. Looking back now, I wouldn't have been able to be where I am without, working together with any of the classes, anatomy or instructional strategies, and even the skills classes. You teach lessons with your colleagues and your peers, and seeing us all come together as seniors, it was nice to have a whole video. But we've definitely used each other to get creative, to, adapt to remote learning and whatnot. So I'll post that link.
Yeah, please. And Leighton's going to show a sample of one of the documents that she created. Leighton, can you give them a little background? You're muted. You have to share it again. Yeah.
There we go. So this is the one that I was talking about. So this is like the handout one that you could potentially send to one of the parents. So it just has like a how-to of like the different critical elements, And then the task progressions. So I just added like images of how everything was supposed to be like set up. And then when we got into our actual lab portion of it, we were put in groups of 2 and were put in breakout rooms. So we had to teach our partner's lesson to them, and then someone taught my lesson to myself. And then we did the same thing, but we did a video version. So like I had to record myself teaching a whole lesson, and then we were again put in breakout rooms, and then my partner just watched my lesson and did the activities with me. So like grabbed all the equipment and everything. So it was just a different way and like a different perspective of, I guess, looking at everything.
Yeah, Haley and Erin, don't forget about what's going on right now as you begin to prepare yourself as a physical educator. There's probably a good chance that the 4 of our SC PE majors are going to be interviewed and asked the question about how they would teach online if something like this, God forbid, it were to ever happen again. And so that's kind of the take that I had with my first year methods course was, okay, we don't have access to the preschool students. So what can we do to help prepare them for their future should something like this come down the line? And also a different way for them to continue to interact in a pseudo kind of teaching realm. Ladies, Gianna has shared the website that the students have created, and I think this might be your personal website. But we're running low on time. We have about 8 minutes left. And Haley and Erin, I wanted to give you an opportunity, really, with one final question. Like, from what I understand, I believe you're both coming in the fall. And what questions do you still have that you would want more information on? Anything that we covered, but you want a little bit more detail? How can we help you leading up to the fall?
I have a question. Do you guys go to East Campus a lot and do stuff there?
Dr. Moosberger, you want to go?
I sure can. Haley, East Campus is one of my favorite places in the whole world. So thank you for asking me about it. Thank you for knowing about it before you're even a student at Springfield College. One of the biggest disappointments, I think, for Dr. Grosha and I is that Outdoor Pursuits this year has been canceled because, again, we can't gather in big groups late, and same thing for you. Yeah. But yeah, we absolutely use East Campus throughout the year for different courses like Outdoor Pursuits and Outdoor Adventure. It's also freely available, and not all students know this, but if you want to go snowshoeing in the winter, you can go to East Campus and borrow a set of snowshoes. So there's things you can do in class and out of class at East Campus. It's also just a nice place to go for a walk. Gianna, I think, has something to say too.
I was going to say, we actually go there for team bondings as well. So we've gone throughout my 4 years. I think we try to go 2 to 3 times a year. We went once in the fall, and as like kind of an icebreaker and meeting everyone and getting to know everyone. They have a lot of really good team building activities. And like Dr. Moosberger said about Outdoor Adventure, that was, I think it was half a semester course, but I remember that was a lot of fun as well.
Erin, how about you? Any questions?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what dorm hall to pick to live in, and I'm not sure about what to pick, so.
Gulick. I'm kidding. Any of them. I lived in Gulick. I know someone said they lived in Reed. They come with their pros and cons, all of them. Gulick is more close-knit, literally. Like, me and my roommate could touch each other's hands when we were in bed. So I know Reed is, you have a lot more room if anyone wants to talk about other ones. Gulick is close knit. If you get sick in Gulick, odds are everyone else on your floor will. And it's co-ed, so it's one wing is females, the other wing is males. I lived on a floor with higher ceilings. It didn't feel that way. And if you're claustrophobic, I suggest that you do not live in Gulick. So, but I loved it. So.
Any other perspectives?
Yeah, I lived in Reed, and I'm not like a lot of the PE people did live in Gulick. Like, I think I was the only one to live in Reed, but I loved it because like my whole floor, we became best friends. So they're like my best friends now. So like I would have never changed living there, but I think it all just depends on what you want. Cause like Gulick is closer to the PE complex and like where you'll have a lot of your classes. And a lot of athletes live there because they have an air conditioning. And so if you move in the fall, like, I mean, earlier, like in August, it helps. But Reed is bigger and like the rooms are pretty nice. I loved it. And it has a really nice view of the lake. So it all depends on what you want.
I lived in Gulick in 1996, 97. And I still have great memories, still friends with some of the people on my floor. I enjoyed Gulick games and got a scar on my knee from diving for something on the turf. That scar was with me for a good 10, 15 years after that. So.
Yeah, I'm a Gulick alum too. But I don't think I had a choice. Any other questions?
Were there any fun clubs that you guys joined?
PEHE club. That was the only one I joined, but it was fun.
Ladies, any other club involvement for the three of you?
Well, yeah, like I said, I did club sport, and that's like a lot. I made a lot of friends from that. Like our team's like really close. We've still stayed in touch through all this. So that helped me. Like that was one of my best choices I made, like since being at Springfield, was joining that team. So.
I'll say there's a ton of clubs on campus. So there's some interest that you have, you'll find people, you'll find a club. There's also pockets of people you'll find on campus. We have a PEHE student worker who he knits and crochets, and he found other people that do that as well on campus, which was interesting to me for college students. We have a faculty member who is the club advisor for Best Buddies on campus. So that's something that a lot of high school students have experience with. And when you mentioned that earlier about Erin, it sounded like unified PE maybe, so Best Buddies would be something you could join at Springfield College.
I forgot. I also was in a Special Olympics club I had just joined, and so it was kind of similar to Best Buddies, and we would meet like once a week on Saturday mornings and work with kids from Springfield, and we would just play games with them, like kickball or whatever. But I only got to do it twice because it had just started, but it was really fun.
Awesome. So we're at the end of our time. Gianna, Bailey, Emily, and Leighton, I know I had promised you one more opportunity to sell them. However, it appears that we have already sold them on Springfield College. So I don't think we need to do that. But I do want to take a moment to thank Haley and Erin for attending our session today. We really look forward to meeting and working with you in the fall. Please do not hesitate to contact me or Dr. Moosberger in any way with any questions as you're leading up. Hopefully we'll see you in June for the orientation where we help pick schedules. Go ahead, Gianna.
Sorry, I just have to go to a seminar meeting, and Dr. Davis-Leno gets really mad if you're late. So
thank you.
I look forward to seeing you guys in the fall. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.
So Erin and Haley, there will be an orientation that's typically face-to-face, so hopefully we'll be there together. Dr. Moosberger's saying no.
No, they've moved it online. It's a virtual, but it sounds really cool. They have some really great ideas, and it's going to be smaller numbers of people and more days that they're offering it. So you'll still have chances to go in breakout groups with people in your major. You'll see a bigger venue with people from academic advising. You'll still be able to have your schedule set up for the fall. So the June orientation is online, and they also have a number of different events that they're organizing over the summer for family members as well as incoming students. So look for that. You'll still have ways to engage with the college over the summer.
And then just follow us on social media. We're still posting stuff either that our students are doing or other links to other things that we find interesting. And yeah, Dr. Moosberger, anything in closing?
Haley and Erin, I'll send you an email within 24 hours just to check in and offer another chance to ask questions. I know Haley does follow us on Twitter. I just checked that a little bit ago. I see it on there. So Erin, if you're on Twitter, I'll put the little at SCPEHE in there so you can see that as well. But I really look forward to working with you in June and then welcoming you on campus in the fall.
Bailey, Emily, Layton, thank you for taking time today. We really appreciate your input and insights. Haley and Erin, take care, stay safe and healthy, and we look forward to seeing you in the fall.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So I just discovered that I didn't hit the record button until about 23 minutes in.
That's okay. No big deal.
Oh well.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Nice job.
Bailey. Thanks, Emily. Thanks, Layton. And the other thing, I didn't even use the PowerPoint that I created. But with only 2 of them there, I didn't.
Right, exactly.
Really
I think that was, they got to share input verbally. It was fine.
Al,
Thank
you
you so
laughing at me?
much. That was awesome. I wish there was more students, but you guys totally touched on what the PE department's about. So thank you.
All right, so what should I do with this document that